Jeep vision, engage. So, I think I solved a problem that has slightly been plaguing me for a little while, but it's been so off and on that I wasn't able to figure it out. Sit tight. And the hood's open. So like 6 months ago, something roughly, I've had this for about a year, if you guys have been following the channel. It's an 86 Jeep Comanche MJ with the 2.5 liter. It's come a long way since I got it bone stock, all beat to shit. But about 6 months ago in the winter, I fired it up. It was warmed up to temperature because I had to let the thing warm up and defog the window so I could drive to work. Pulled up to a Quickie Mart, shut it off, ran inside, came out, went to start it, and it just cranked and cranked and cranked and wouldn't start. And all I did is sit in the truck for like, I don't know, 5 minutes, trying to get a hold of a coworker to see if they could come in early, come down to the Quickie Mart and help me out. And all of a sudden I cranked it and it just started right up, and it never did it again. Until about a week ago, right before I went on a trip to Reno that I just got back from, I drove to Dutch Brothers to get some coffee, and just sitting in line, the thing just stalled out and just died. And I cranked and cranked and cranked and it wouldn't start. So embarrassingly, I had to get a couple Dutch Bros guys came out and helped me just push it kind of out into the street and off into a parking spot. And by the time I popped the hood and popped a plug off, I think I pulled, number 3 off. Well, actually, no, sorry. I popped the hood, just kind of like pushed on everything, like made sure everything was connected, kind of wiggled those, wiggled that. And then I pulled number 3 off, and I think I held a little like 1/4 inch extension in there or something. I was just trying to figure out if it was sparking against the alternator there. And as soon as I had my wife crank it, it just fired right up on 3 cylinders. So I plugged the thing in, and that's it. Came home, shut it off, went on vacation, and just wasn't really sure, so I figured I'd come back to it. And so now that I'm back, I fired it up this morning. We went to go get some coffee again. It was fine the whole time. Went to O'Reilly's because I just thought, I don't think I'd ever swapped either of these relays. And in fact, I hadn't. When I got the thing, a lot of tune-up stuff had been done. Every single thing that hadn't been done, I did. And I've done a bunch more. I've done some wire fixing. I fixed a bad map sensor connector that was causing me issues. But I hadn't touched these relays, and I don't think they're original, but I could tell they were old. So I thought, I'm going to go to O'Reilly's. I'm just going to pick up a couple more universal relays and just have them. And I shit you not, I leave O'Reilly's, go to Safeway, come out, and the thing won't start. And I just couldn't hear the fuel pump. I waited for kind of a delay in traffic in the parking lot to be the quietest as possible. And I wasn't convinced I could hear the fuel pump. And normally I could hear it or kind of feel the vibration of it. So I get out, pop the hood, put my new relays in, jump in, thing fires right up. Awesome. Okay, it was a bad relay. Well, no. Then I get home and I spend a couple hours at home and I need to go to the store again. I go to get in the truck, turn the key. I don't hear the fuel pump. Go to start it. It doesn't start. So I get out, and I didn't really want to spend a lot of time diagnosing it because it was like 98 degrees outside, kind of humid. But I get out just enough to pop these little things out of place and just kind of wiggle this little harness around, and I find that there's something loose in there. Like I'm able to, with the thing disconnected and able to flip these little relays kind of upside down in their little housing, I was able to start it. And I came out and just moved it around, and then boom, it just died and fell on its face. So I knew there was just something stupid, a loose connection here. So I just had my daughter come out, and with these popped out of their little mount there, so you can hold the whole thing and kind of have it upside down, I had her crank, got the thing started, and just manipulating it a little bit, it would kind of lose its signal, and I could feel that this relay here, which I'm assuming is fuel pump, because every time it's acting up, I don't hear the fuel pump. This thing is spazzing out, just tweaking and popping and trying to activate a bunch. There's clearly a loose connection somewhere, and it was actually the yellow wire going into the bottom of this. So I basically just had her start it, got it into a position where it was working, and then just one at a time I used like a little screwdriver, and I just kind of like wiggled on, you know, this wire and that wire until I isolated that it's the yellow wire going into the bottom of this one, which is like a power wire, obviously, some sort of signal wire or something, probably from the computer, coming from the crank sensor, which is new. And every time I manipulated the yellow wire, it would cut in and out. So all I did is put a little jeweler's screwdriver down into the female fitting and just kind of like pried and twisted and got it to be a little bit tighter of a grip for the little blades in there. And I noticed when I was swapping these relays that this relay was significantly looser. I could easily just pull it in and out, where this one had a little bit of resistance. I had to kind of wiggle it like a worn out wall outlet. You know, you plug your phone charger in, it just falls. It's exactly how this one was. So I kind of pried and snugged up the connectors a little bit and had her start it, fired right up on the first try. And no matter how much I messed with that yellow wire, which I think is number 86 on the relay there, it wouldn't die anymore. So I just figured I'd make a quick video in case somebody has a similar situation where pretty much everything, I mean, down to the computer, the ECU in this thing was bad when I got it, which is why it wouldn't run. That's brand new. Everything else on this is basically brand new. It's only got 58,000 miles on it. But that relay's been sitting in there for 40 years, kind of opening up those prongs slowly to where they're just not a snug fit anymore. So something as stupid as that could leave you stranded. So if you're just intermittently having an issue where your truck will just die and, you know, all you do is just kind of poke around under the hood and it just starts back up, you know, it could be something that silly. Just start, you know, if you can get the thing started, just start wiggling stuff. That's how I was able to find out I had a bad map sensor connector, because the thing was just kind of intermittently running like crap a while ago. I think I made a video on it, and I found that every time I poked this harness, it was actually tugging on these wires, pulling them down and killing the truck. So I spliced a new map sensor harness in there, and I haven't had a problem with that since. So it doesn't have to always be hours and hours of diagnostic. I mean, I just fixed this in maybe an hour's time of just kind of poking around and getting my daughter to help me out. So just hoping this might help somebody and keep another one of these things on the road. It'll go for, you know, Cherokees of the Generation 2. Any of the Renix ones are going to be pretty much the same. So let me know if this helped you guys out at all.